this school on Monday, the 22nd of August 2022. I did my theory test and I passed. Obviously, sweat running down my face, hands shaking visibly. And I don't know if I mentioned this in a video, but in the practice app that I used, there was one of the clips for the passive perception was that there's a fan that's like very close to you, about to emerge from a side road. You big fan right in front of you. I click on it immediately on the practice video, and I get 0 for noticing it too early. But yeah, I passed, so I'm just surprised that I did. Anyway, Landscapers, universally positive ratings, Skylandic / HBO original series to watch on Skylandic. Olivia Colman, David Thewlis. It is the best biopic / true crime show ever because of the style. I love it. This Twitter, as of 29 to 7 p.m. So House of the Dragon came out today, and I looked at the ratings before I left the house to go down a ferry, and it's got a 9.1 out of 10, which makes it close to being as good as Game of Thrones, but I expect it to heavily drop once more people watch it, because, I mean, Matrix 4 had good ratings when it initially came out, because not a lot of people had seen it at that point. Anyway, Harry Styles is Rolling Stone's first ever global cover star. What does that mean? Great. The leftists have all collectively gotten angry at the same time, have decided to take out their stress by saying, "I hate Kyle Rittenhouse." Oh. Kyle Rittenhouse pretty much got pulled from a normal life for a blatant act of self-defense, which, due to the heavily politicized nature of the event around him, got smeared as a murderer. Anyway, don't care. Plus they were terrorists, plus they attacked them. Joseph D. Rosenbaum, convicted felon, sex offender, level 3 offender, failure to maintain register status. Anthony Huber, convicted felon, assault and battery, domestic abuse, false imprisonment, and illegal weapons. And here comes the hate. Kyle Rittenhouse claims to be suing Joe Biden because he defended his character by calling him a white supremacist. Yes, that is character defamation because he didn't kill any black people. No black people attacked him. And also, he just isn't a white supremacist. There's no evidence that he's a white supremacist. He thinks Kyle Rittenhouse defended his own character by being a white supremacist murderer. 1, he's not a murderer. 2, he's not a white supremacist, as I've already proven. As for how he's not a murderer, it was self-defense. That's great. Amanda Abington, who I only know that name from, I think, I could be wrong here, but I'm pretty sure she plays Watson's girlfriend in Elementary. Sorry, not Elementary. The Benedict Cumberbatch Sherlock. And she's saying that if Kyle Rittenhouse was a character in the movie, he'd be the asshole of the all the characters. No, he wouldn't. He'd be the Sigma that was accused of a crime he didn't commit, like The Fugitive. If The Fugitive was a legal drama, Wuhan, where the coronavirus came from. Hell yeah. Why is Arkansas trending? Yeah. What does this have to do with? Oh. What? Putin's war mastermind Alexander Dugin in hospital after Jim bomb that killed daughter in assassination attempt. I guess that's supposed to say. Vladimir Putin's spiritual guide is in hospital after narrowly dodging a car bomb attack that killed his daughter. They've made a spelling mistake there. Narrowly dodging a car bomb attack that killed in daughter. Anyway, wait, why would Putin kill his war mastermind, as the son called him? Looks like they haven't agreed on a narrative yet. Maybe the son is run by Last of Us 2 fans. I don't know about y'all, but I'm also a ton of knowledge on this eat your bugs propaganda, and I can tell you with confidence that not only do these bugs cause pathogens, they also make you antibiotic resistant. I will leave the studies under this post. Leave yours also. I can't be bothered to look that up, I'm sorry. It's just like that period of time back in 2013 and 2016 when me and a bunch of preteen boys went down the alt-right rabbit hole and took people like Ben Shapiro or Paul Joseph Watson seriously. Well, I mean, I don't watch a lot of Ben Shapiro, but the stuff I have seen from him, if you ignore the cringy editing, like, he does make some really good points. And as for Paul, I've been watching Paul for 5 years now, and he is rarely wrong. Like, the only thing he's been wrong about in recent memory is that he is basically just calling Andrew Tate based. Never seen a tweet scream, I have never had a father figure in my life, more than this tweet. Trump won by a slim margin. NPR Ipsos poll has revealed that over 50% of Americans feel that the southern border is under invasion from illegal immigrants. 20 years' time, British politics is going to become a graveyard of washed up, diverse sportsmen who weren't quite good enough in the twilight of their careers, so they voted the politics. Marcus Rashford, Anthony Joshua, Lewis Hamilton, name a few. I know that I think he's just a sports commentator, but there's also Gary Lineker. Out of the RAF recruitment team resigned after coming under pressure to meet diversity targets which discriminated against white men, believing them to be unlawful. Not doing their Bond film reputation and status any favours, the World Economic Forum published an article suggesting it would be a solid, rational move for children to be implanted with microchips. That's great. You just implant me with microchips. Yeah, let me just show you what would happen if you did that. So, you implant children microchips, and then whoever has control over them, let's just say Klaus Schwab, if he's still alive, to be able to oversee this by the time that it happens, because I think it's inevitable that it's going to happen. So, You have Klaus just, coming into work, putting up his computer, getting his morning coffee, and he spills his coffee, and this happens to everyone.
Legalize nuclear bombs.
I'm gonna get copyrighted for that, aren't I? MSNBC host Tiffany Cross declared that the US is already in a civil war and blamed conservative news organizations for stoking violence. Is that so? Was it the conservative news organizations? The one conservative news organization that I would imagine doesn't really get many viewers. But, I mean, it was the liberal news organizations that were like, when they were saying this when it came to the George Floyd riots. I don't remember anyone saying that riots had to be polite or peaceful. Polite, no. It can be rude, but it can be violent. If it's violent, then by default, it's a riot. It's not a protest. And riots are never a good thing. Anyway, then a subsequent broadcast brought on a guest who repeatedly claimed that the Republican Party is fascist. What's so fascist about them? Anyway, in his latest broadcast on CNN, Brian Stelter proved one final time that he has a complete lack of self-awareness by stating that the free world needs a reliable source, and we must make sure we don't give platforms to those lying to our faces. Franklin Pan stepped down in December after half a century in government. Good. After that, I hope that he gets investigated thoroughly. They find out that yes, he has done unbearable evils and rots for the rest of his life in prison. Actually, to step down right before Republicans are expected to take control of Congress and commence investigations into his fund of the Wuhan lab and pandemic response. See, I mean, yeah. Sorry, my mom was calling out on me there. Anyway, same mainstream media that hyperventilates by conspiracy theories were rushed to label the Gina assassination a false flag within hours of it happening, citing zero evidence whatsoever. It's okay when we do it. I should have mentioned this during the school segment because my mom got a phone call from the head of year at, say, 9 o'clock saying, can Dylan come in, right this second so we can talk to him about exam results? Because, why did you get an E? We taught you everything that you needed to know. I bet that's what it's going to be. And my mom said, no. I said, okay, what about Friday? Well, I mean, yeah, we're all in on Friday. No, they're not. What do you mean? But it says on the, calendar for the school, Sims Parent app or whatever, that year 14 is on Friday. Nope, they're not. About 3 hours past, get another call. Actually, sorry, they are in on Friday. I love it when they just don't communicate with each other in the school, and it makes the lives of the students 1,000 times worse. Anyway, this isn't how the public sphere works, and everyone knows it. Nobody actually believes that truth prevailing over lies can be remotely expected on the internet. So why say it? Just admit you want the evil guy to stay, and that you're fine with making the world worse, in my opinion. Well, him saying a bunch of things, right? It's the people who make memes real, and the people who don't really understand that memes aren't always true, if you know what I mean. Elon Musk thinks that people make memes of him because he's a good guy. Not true. We make memes of him because he's a complete asshole. Like the Morbius memes. Memes were made out of that because it's a terrible movie. But Sony seems to think that we were making, well, no, we didn't make any, but people were making memes because it's a good movie. So much so to the point where they put the film back in cinemas. Anyway, that's how the public sphere works, though. People who hold this opinion usually constantly have their ideas rejected by the public. But no, my ideas aren't bad. The public are just stupid. Just admit you want government and corps to control information to your benefit. Also goes what I was saying, Tate's ban was BS. Far from my cup of tea, not a fan, but when it comes to speech that's irrelevant, I just simply don't watch them which should be the same approach other people have instead of trying to control what media others can consume. Grady's responded. What makes you think that of the amount of constant loud misinformation and that the public sphere is some kind of refining machine that generates truth and good ideas? Again, if you want to say free speech is more important, that's fine. It is. Also, there's, like, when it comes to posting misinformation online, we shouldn't ban misinformation because instead of banning it, what should happen, but what does happen is that if I hear some misinformation, let's say that 2 plus 2 equals 5, and then I tell people that 2 plus 2 equals 5, they're going to say, no, it doesn't, it equals 4. And then most people at that point will look it up and realize, oh, I was wrong, I was told some misinformation, and that's it. Like, Lad Bible constantly posts misinformation. They said that Tim Allen had been kicked out of the Lightyear movie when he hadn't. They cast Chris Evans because the way that the Toy Story universe works is that they created the Lightyear movie within the Toy Story universe, and then they needed to make toys of Lightyear for marketing purposes. So that's what it is. So within the Toy Story universe, Chris Evans exists as a actor / voice actor. And then when they made the toys, they can't get Chris Evans. He's just too busy. So they had to get someone else. So they got starving artist Tim Allen to do it. Anyway, free speech is more important. I don't like the idea of any institution, corporation, or government controlling what information people have access to, because 100% in cases where that has been the case, it's been abused. Oh right, seems like you agree with the tweet then. Not at all, since you equated the idea of wanting free speech to wanting the evil guy to stay, which is not at all what Muda said. He just understands that freedom of speech is important, cutting down the law to get at the devil and all that. Also, I do not agree with you saying that's not how the public sphere works. The public can decide for themselves what ideas are good or bad. Call me when a flat earther passes some legislation. The issue I have with the OP is that it seems to imply that countering with true ideas is some actual solution to the problem. People willfully sucking up incoherent, hateful language from a guy they idolize. And yes, he does want the bad guy to stay and continue being bad. No! Would you please just back down and actually understand that that's not how it works? And to your other point, it's not about what the public decides. It's about it's about people who will believe obviously worse things now because this man is preaching to them. People can decide wrong and can make the world a much worse place to live in. Then you don't have the fence cloud about media. So if the public don't make their decisions, who does then? So your solution to this is to have corporations control the flow of information to limit the public access to such content. Boy, that's never backfired before. Rita, you're right. I don't even know this word. It's literally the guy that you quote tweeted at the start of the thread. Rita is just, a nickname. Like, for Marcus, his nickname is just Mark because it's short or shorter. I think that Mita is that guy of like that meme of the, I don't want to say Indian because I don't know if he's Indian or Pakistan or anything, the Arab guy laughing. I think. I'm worried you're going to say Muda these nuts, and I'm just walking right into it. Muda is literally the name of the guy you replied to. You just made up this whole fan fiction that got 10k plus likes for an opinion you didn't even have, and you don't even know who he is. What's so funny is you just engage in misinformation. Gonna ban yourself? Oh, maybe he doesn't have. Oh, does he not have faith in the power of good ideas online that reverse and replace bad ones? Doesn't make much sense to a tweet as a tweet. If not, I don't know if this guy has bad grammar or I'm just reading it wrong. Anyway, don't remember your own tweet. You said you wanted the bad guy. You said he wanted the bad guy to stay and make the world worse, as if that was the purposeful end goal of his stance. When anyone with 2 brain cells could see that it wasn't. I don't think he actively wants the world to be worse. I think it's okay if a harmful guy continues to be harmful if the alternative and false censorship. I think you do too. I mean, it's pretty much the cornerstone of natural rights. Free speech perspective. I pretty much say so in the following tweet. It was a dishonest framing. I can give you an example. Do you feel people have a right to be promiscuous? Why are you saying human rights advocate in air quotes? He literally is. My point here is about having the courage of your convictions. There are times when particular people being able to spite their nonsense will lead to worse outcomes, not some impossible rectification from the public sphere. You gotta live with this, in my opinion. It's a choice being made. So in other words, yes, you agree that corporate government institutions should control the flow of information. Well, good luck with that. That has backfired in 100% of cases, but who knows, maybe it'll work this time. You might get lucky. I don't think you're following me. I'm saying that your solution has obvious essential issues that need understood for what they are. Yeah, and Marcus knows that. In fact, I would say he knows it more than you. Anyway, the marketplace of ideas isn't going to come and take these issues away from you. So who should? I think there's going to be issues with any solution we'll have. My broad solution to these problems isn't just to let Mark Zuckerberg control the spread of all information. I'd like to see more democratized internet, and I'm not sure exactly how moderation would fit into that. Democracy is having the ability to make an informed vote. How can votes be informed when information is controlled like you're proposing? Crap, some countries ban whole ass political parties from their internet, and almost all companies have a bias, so how would you fix that? Well, I think that's a good question. I would say that I think one major issue we have to tackle in getting informed folks is the profit motive of tech corporations, privilege and attention / monetization over literally everything else. And corporations are going to be in favor of government that will cut their taxes, give them benefits, etc., and therefore show bias towards that party. Now, when a few dozen square miles in Silicon Valley controls 80% of the English-speaking internet, that's a huge problem. The other thing is, you said that the internet should be democratized, as in people who should be able to choose and vote about what content is allowed. I'm also in favour of letting people choose what media they want to consume. You just seem to want the mob to choose instead. Democratizing the internet doesn't mean democratizing bans. It means democratizing how the internet functions, how algorithms work, how moderation works, etc. No rule that says we all get the vote when we don't like someone. But the idea of democracy is that such ideas can be tabled, and you are in support of a ban. So yeah, do you feel Tate's ban should have been a vote? I'm finding it hard to figure out what it is you actually want. I don't think he even knows what he wants. Oh, I barely know what Tate did besides being misogynist that actually caused the ban. I certainly think there are reasonable standards people could agree on that would justify them not being allowed unfettered access to public places, harassment, threats, etc. All the things you're proposing will require institutions to enact and enforce. Who carries out the vote? Who carries out the moderation? Who carries out the bans and removals, etc.? In other words, yes, you do want corps and institutions controlling this information. I'm sorry I have to record now. Nice talking to you. No worries, good talk. Great, one person to the next. Mark believes Andrew Tate is information while he just lies with every breath. Mark did not say that at all. What Mark was saying was that yes, Andrew Tate is misinformation, but we shouldn't ban him. Like, what is so hard to understand? Hey, I miss you. Still schizo? I don't remember this person. I haven't schizo yet, but not as much as you. Who still remembers one rando even after stop engaging so much with your account. Bro, you have a daughter. Go touch grass for her at the park instead of here. Thank you. That's what I've been saying. So that's a yes, and of course I remember you. Your takes were so straight-jacket they were hard to forget. What were your takes? When you had 8 whiskies. My toddler when I'm just trying to take a crap. Doc Bill help plan Brits get money off their energy bills by getting a prescription from their GP under radical new plans. Getting technical support, what? I'm afraid you've come down with a case of broke AF. Oh, it's terminal.
Changes $1, sir.
Broke nigga alert. Broke nigga
Is
alert.
it talking about me?
Broke nigga
I
alert.
think so, my nigga.
Broke nigga alert.
O Governo Federal Cerro Imposto de Importación de Suplementos Alimentares como whey protein, creatina, BCAA, multivitamínicos, diversos itens de nutrición esportiva, além de reduzir de 11 para 4% os impostos para diversos outros itens como proteínas, lácteos e albumina. President of Brazil, Jair Bolsonaro, has posted this meme after reducing tax on protein zero at base. Trump essentially stole the presidency. 11:24 a.m. 13:19. I'm so sick of election deniers. 3:23 p.m. 8:21:22. It seems that the racist, corrupt, capitalist pluralclat is projected to win. No, the other one. Yay! Another hilarious Nazi comic. Every Nazi accusation you make makes Stone Toss $100,000 richer. I hope you keep going. So, got 2 new videos today. This one is actually the replacement for Formation. From 2024 onwards, this song. 17 Going Under by Sam Fender. I've never heard of the song, never heard of the person, although maybe I have heard it been played before and I just didn't know the name of it. Or I forgot, or something like that. Anyway, from 2024 onwards, people doing education level media will be doing this instead of Formation. She's also done another song after this by someone else who I'm gonna assume is replacing Riptide. Anyway, got this establishing shot at the very start of the video, and I might be wrong, but this looks like a road from Skins. Like I'm pretty sure I've seen this road in Skins during one of Naomi's episodes. No, it's one of what's the Scottish girl from Gen 3 called? Minnie. I think it was one of Minnie's episodes where she was walking from somewhere and her mum was walking as well, and then they meet up in the middle of this street and they go home. Like, I think their house is on this street. Anyway, what do you think about this shot? She said that the woman, and it seems free, but to me, I don't watch a lot of war movies, but to me this seems like, the husband, or just the father of the child that this woman is holding has died at sea, and she's like paying her respects and or grieving. Anyway, so her reasoning for her perception that the shot is of the woman being free is because, by comparison, the other scene that we've seen so far of Sam in Minnie's street, I'm just gonna say Minnie's street, makes him look trapped. Although, I mean, was that really, like, did the director really think of that, or did he just, was it coincidence? Are you making something out of nothing? Montage of shots means the narrative isn't totally clear. Maybe there is no narrative and it's just a bunch of shots. I might be a bit biased because I just have a feeling that this song is going to be terrible. In fact, I'm going to have a little bit of a listen right now. So there was a shot where it was in a crowd, but everyone in the crowd bar him was looking at the sea. He was looking at the camera. And apparently that makes him seem different. I'm different. That meme of like I'm like other girls. When you really aren't. That's what it feels like. Okay, it turns out I have heard this song from the fact that my mum listens to Cool FM in the car. And it's a decent song, but not one that I would listen to. I'm trying to pick out a sort of lyric that would make you realize, oh, it's that song, like it did for me, because whatever. But I'm looking at the lyrics, and he said the F word here. He said the word that if an American heard it would try and cancel him. Thinking, he hates gay people, but really over here it means a cigarette. Oh, here we go again. He's singing about being sad, but despite the fact that he's singing about being sad, no, it's toxic masculinity because he hasn't shown any emotion on his face. Maybe he's just a crap actor. You ever think about that? Because, I mean, he is pouring his heart out. Because, I mean, it would be toxic masculinity. Well, I don't like the term toxic masculinity, but I'm going to use it because you use it. But it would be toxic masculinity if he was not singing about being sad. If he was singing about thinking, I'm fine, then yeah. But the fact that it's sad, no, this does not fit. So look at these lyrics that represent toxic masculinity and men not showing their emotions. Embarrass yourself for someone, crying like a child, and the boy who kicked Tom's head in still bugs me now. That's the thing, it lingers and claws you when you're down. It's an opposite day or something? This is emotion. And you're saying that it isn't emotion. Non-straight relationship. Yeah, that's called gay. That's called it. Okay, it's women you're talking about. That's called a lesbian relationship. You don't need to say non-straight. That seems quite homophobic, actually. But the women are shown as more emotional through the music video because there's two women holding hands, and like it does seem like that they are dating. Like, that's not something she said, that's something I'm saying. This is the first time that, like, when she would say, this implies that they are dating. Yes, I actually agree with it. I shouldn't be drinking. It's not alcohol, it's Dr. Pepper, but I shouldn't be drinking in videos. Crap, if I was going to say that. If it comes back to me, it comes back to me. Oh, one of the women is actually seen as more masculine because she's bald. They are challenging gender conventions by showing women fighting. I hate that sounds sexist, but I mean, like, I see women fighting all the time on TV, in movies, books, games, whatever. So, if I'm looking at my Avengers posters, I see Captain Marvel, Black Widow, Gamora, Nebula, I forget her name, Scarlet Witch, and I know it seems weird, but it's the posters for Infinity War and Endgame. That's why there's people who only appear in one poster but don't appear in the other. Look all around me. I see Wonder Woman, Batgirl, Harley Quinn, Supergirl. I see Motoko Kusanagi from Ghost in the Shell. Yeah, that's about it. But that was unnecessary. But his point is, it is not an uncommon thing to see women fighting in the media. So they are not challenging gender norms, and they are not fueling gender norms either. It's just human. This means a lot. He wore a shirt with the logo of a distillery or whatever on it, and this represents his years as working in a pub, and it's very close to him. Well, I mean, there's not a lot of people who haven't worked in a pub. I haven't, because I've only held one job before, and you already know what happened with that. But my mum worked in a pub, and some of my friends currently work in pubs. So there's not, I'd say most people have worked in a pub before in their life. And if not a pub, just any kind of bar. He's represented himself as part of his own identity. Who has working in a pub as a teenager as part of your identity? When, as I said, basically everyone has done it. Grain up shot, it's not a, I wouldn't even say it's a grain up shot, it's just, actually, sorry it is, I'm sorry. But Great Up Shot represents singers rising above a situation, becoming a role model and escaping his problems. But the thing is that when you're not realizing that when he becomes a role model, as I would say that he currently is, he immediately forgets all about him being working class because he's got all the money now. I don't know how much he's got, but I'm gonna assume that it's at least 100,000. You know, he is in the realm of rich. So, you know, he was a poor person, but now I guarantee it, if he walks in the street and sees a homeless person, he'll be like, "Ew, poor people," and walks away. Just a lot of people who say that they represent like the working class and stuff like that, as soon as they become rich, they abandon all that. And if they don't, then it just becomes like a shell. Like, I'm for all you dirty, smelly, poor people. Sips $1 million champagne. Like Ken Loach. I don't know much about the man, but I know that, you know, obviously he's got millions. He makes not family. He makes movies all about the working class, and it does seem authentic. The only one of his I've seen is Daniel Blake, and that came much after he got famous. I think he got famous in 1969. And it's like when you get someone who's nearly in their 30s to play a teenager. Their performance will always be lacking because they have forgotten what it's like. But they haven't forgotten all of what it's like to be a teenager, but they've forgotten most of what it's like. And also to the audience, it doesn't seem you know, it's all putting in the audience because you got like Riverdale where Dylan Sprouse or whatever Sprouse brother is in the show. He's 30, and I think he's playing a high schooler in the show. But I don't know. I don't watch Riverdale. 13 Reasons Why, Euphoria. I mean, I love 13 Reasons Why and Euphoria, but they got people here in their 20s, and some of them are almost in their 30s that play teenagers, and it's just not the same. That's what makes Skins so great. Because Sam, right, I get that this is before he got famous. This is the song that made him famous, but my life is so tragic. Wipes his tears with $100 bills. I know he's English, but I just defaulted dollars. Because when I think celebrities, I think Hollywood. Even though we're talking about singers and not actors. Sam Fender chose to represent the north of England in his music video because it's not really a place that is shown much in the north of England. Well, yeah, because music videos don't really have locations set in mind. They just do stuff. Like, I'm a bit biased in saying that because I just genuinely hate music videos, including most of the ones from bands that I like. Like, the only music video I can think of right now that I like is Houdini by Foster the People. And that video does not represent any location. It's just, they die, but they had a concert going on the next day, and instead of cancelling the concert, they hire a bunch of people to wait for like effects and stuff, makes it seem like that they're still alive. I know that description might be a bit confusing, but if you watch the music video, you understand what I mean. This point is, music videos don't really represent locations much. As for the North being represented just at all in the media, the only things I think of are Skins and anything that Ken Loach has done. So you got close-ups of like Black Eyes, Bloody Knuckles, etc. The only thing I think of is the soap dramas that my mum watches, where it's just like, one character goes up to another and is like, "Wait, you stole my sheep." Boom. I'm saying that based off of like everything that I've seen of like Emmerdale and Coronation Street, and an actor who nearly got a role in He nearly got a role in Emmerdale, but didn't. Dominic Monaghan, because he was on a podcast that I watched like a couple weeks ago. It wasn't just like those two shots they made me think of. It was the bit with the women fighting, because from what I've seen from Emmerdale and Coronation Street, it's just a bunch of characters fighting all the time for seemingly no reason. Fast pace, extreme close-ups of glazed eyes and sweaty skin suggest a lot of drug taking is going on. Yeah, the fast-paced extreme close-ups, yeah. Of it being of glazed eyes, yeah. Of sweat, no. Like, if I see someone sweating, then I'm going to assume that they've done exercise. I'm not going to assume that they've taken drugs. Very clear references to the debt that that character in the video is taking on. Yeah, when he says, she said the debt. I don't like it when lyrics are repeated like that. That's just terrible. Like, twice is too much. 3 times you've gone overboard. I'm gonna listen to the song to the point where he says that and see what it's like. Okay, it's a bit better than I expected, because he's saying it so fast. Like, the debt. When I initially read it as the debt. I know it doesn't seem different, but to me, it just means so much more. I had a feeling she was going to say this, and I've actually looked at a video about this when I was going through Carl's videos, because like this North FC meme, like the North really is love me football, simple as, but you have to, if the Labour people in London saying that they represent the North, it's like, you just don't. Like I said, that most of the problems in the North is because of Labour, but I'd say that, like, the North don't really care much about politics. I mean, they'll vote, but they'll not say anything to anyone else about politics. So, Riptide is being replaced by A Little Bit of Love by Tom Grennan. And once again, it's another song that I thought I never heard of before, but I took a look at, or I listened to, like, the first couple seconds. First 14 seconds of the song, and I realised, oh, I should have known what it is, considering that, like, I know the title. Like, it's a very distinct lyric from the rest of the lyrics, because he sings it, like, the way that Shakira would. Like, I need a little bit of love. But I was just thinking, I really hope that this isn't a cover of Rubber Ball by Cage the Elephant, that he hasn't specified as a cover, so people will be like, yes, I love this song. And then if I were to listen to Rubber Ball by Cage the Elephant, they'd be like, you're listening to a cover of this secret song. Like, actually, no, your song's a cover of my song. Because that doesn't happen with music, but it's happened with other things. My brother always comes on our room and says, my mate just said to me that they stole the ideas for Doctor Strange 2 from Fortnite. Or that just this character that has been around for, we'll say, 60 years. Like, say, like the Daily Bugle, because someone actually, I don't know if the kid was joking or not, but considering he sounds like a 5-year-old, I'm gonna assume that he isn't joking. But he is like a kid watching Spider-Man 3. He's like, guys, look, I noticed something. It says Daily Bugle in the movie. Like he launches up Fortnite, looks at the map. Guys, look, it's Daily Bugle. Did Spider-Man steal ideas from Fortnite? Also, she's right when she says that, you know, the indie genre is quite bleak. But that's not everything in the indie genre. I mean, there's no really... I'd say that most indie games aren't. Like, I think Stray is an indie game. It's sad, but it's not bleak. Okay, if you want a better music video about two brothers, was it My Blood? I think it's My Blood. Hold on. I've got my other phone so I can look it up. I think it's called My Blood. Yeah, My Blood by 21 Pilots. That's a much better music video about two brothers. The fact that the two brothers are best mates in the music video does not go against stereotypes of brothers in the media. But it does go against the stereotypes of masculinity in the media. Really? Well, how come, like, basically every show always has two best mates? Doesn't matter what the show is, doesn't matter if it's the main character being best mates with someone else or it's two side characters being best mates. There's always a best mate somewhere. Remember yesterday when she said that being angry, well, she pointed out that a character in something, like, what was it? The Returned, I think. In The Returned, or not yesterday, like 2 days ago, what, 3 days ago, but in The Returned, she said that, you know, no man in the show shows emotion, but a couple minutes later, she said that there are angry men in this show. Which means, so, you know, unless it was unintentional, then she thinks that anger shouldn't be classified as being an emotion. But now that Tom Grennan, or whatever the hell his name is, yeah, is being angry in the music video, that's him being emotional. Also, his anger in the video just reminds me of a Mario Judah song. So, now that Tom is being angry again, not only has she said that it's emotion now she's saying that, you know, that this is being stereotypical masculinity. Like, you just keep shifting positions all the time when it benefits you. You need to pick one and stick with it. Either A, anger is not an emotion. B, men being angry is unconventional. Or C, men being angry is conventional. Fast-paced jump cuts of Brawler scrambling for the money emphasizes his desperation. Well, I didn't see any shots of that. I seen a shot of him, like, going to the pool outside their house and just splashing at the water, which, without the context of actually having seen the music video, it just looks really random. Like, all I could think of now is, like, when I was watching Skins and, like, my dad came home from work around the time that I got the bit where Emily's family had been kicked out of their house. So they go to Naomi's house and everyone's there, and, like, Emily just wants to prove to her parents that she's gay, so she, like, kisses Naomi unconsensually in front of them, and it just comes to the big army. It's like, this show is just people arguing. Like, there's a genuine, like, reason to all this happening, so shut up. Actually, this does seem very similar to the My Blood music video, because in that video, one of the brothers ends up, I mean, it's been a while since I've seen the video, but I think, like, one of the brothers gets into a fight, so the other brother defends him, and it's basically the exact same thing. She keeps on saying dad and son in this all the time instead of, older brother and younger brother. Like, it's funny. Especially saying I give up in this. Every time that she screws up, she edits text and saying, I mean to say dad or no, I'll do it. I mean to say brother, and actually got the point where she is, I give up. This is not a spotlight, it's a lamp. Right, so video creates messages about toxic masculinity. Well, those messages are quite oxymoronic, I'll say, if that's a word. The pressures the young men are under to conform, as well as the mental health issues many men face. You mean every man faces. But the thing is that you say, oh, I care about men's mental health, when really it's you that is making their mental health worse. Like if you think of the Joker movie, that scene where the boss is like, who would steal a sign? That's stupid. You're fired. I mean, they didn't fire him at that point, but you get the point. Some audiences may feel that crime is romanticized or excused in the video of the man having no choice. I'm a bit conflicted on that, because I could go down the path of yes, or I could go down the path of no, which, I mean, I didn't need to say that, it's obvious. So I'll do both, without saying like I feel this way. More than I feel that way. I'm just gonna mention them. So, crime being romanticized. Well, the only people that would say that are people from the 1930s that also believed that Brave New World was a pro-pedophilia book. But at the same time, yeah, it is romanticized, and yous all love it.